Hey guys, it's Kay, aka the Purple Teapot, and I'm back with another video. Today we're chatting about Dr. Odyssey, and honestly, I think I might be hooked already. It's been ages since I properly got into a medical show, but of course it's Ryan Murphy with all his quirky ideas because he, Benado, we're going to talk about that another time. He always knows how to draw me back, and I mean 911 drew me back into procedural dramas along with Found like last year, and now I'm hooked on Dr. Odyssey already. And honestly, after New Amsterdam, that impact that it had on people negatively in the end, like it's time to move on. It's time for new horizons and not let creatives, which I say as an insult in this point because there are some creatives who don't understand their audience and think that their audience is the enemy, and that pisses me off. Anyways, let's dive into the show because I don't want to hark on the past because this show is really good and it has great potential. But before I get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe and share. First off, let's talk about the medical procedures. I forgot how squeamish I am. It's not even the needles, it's the scalpel. When they cut into that guy's neck after his wife broke his clavicle, spoiler, and he couldn't breathe, it gave me flashbacks to New Amsterdam. See, I'm already going back to the flashbacks with when Max collapsed and Georgia had to open his neck with a knife and a straw. Oh, shout out to Georgia, actually. She should have left him. Oh, sorry. It's fictional, don't worry. And then the penis fracture, that was so Ryan Murphy. I love that one line about it's mostly men with larger penises who get it fractured, and like that zinger was just straight to Tristan who felt it. He kind of walked straight into that one though. Back to the couple who like ended up in the doctor's office twice. I hope that they come back like maybe twice a season. I need them to come back multiple times because there's always those people on cruises who have been there like 3-4 times. I remember when I went, there was a couple who were practically living on the cruise. They were on there for like 6 months. They lived in the US and they got on in the US, and we were touring for like a couple of days in Europe and they were on there when they were going to the next place. I was like, I see you. On to the main characters. Captain Robert, even though I see this tough exterior, that's what he is, he gives tough guy like this first episode, I think he's going to be the foundation to this cruise. He already has. He set the foundation of the show by like explaining the show, what his job is, what Max's role is, and just the vibe of the cruise and like the passengers, and kind of set the scene of what kind of things will entail for the next season and hopefully for the next season if it gets renewed. I'm really excited to see what he brings, especially when he learns about the love triangle, because that is a mess that I am here for. I wasn't here for it until I saw the trailer, and we'll get into that right at the end. Back to Tristan. I didn't know he was a bit of a tool until the episode started. He seemed like alright. He seemed like he was going to be the comedic element. He is. He's like the Eddie in 911 to this. He's serious, but he's very unserious. If Buck and Eddie were one, let's not get into that right now, it would be Tristan. And I'm like, from the jump, he was like on Max's neck, and I was like, you need to like calm down. He's clearly insecure about Max, and it's like clearly he never had competition. He didn't find the other doctor competition because they said that he was a bit old. They thought he was going to kick the bucket. But Tristan said in this episode that he was in the brother zone. So when like what happened with Max happened, which we'll get into with Max and Avery, I don't know why he thought that Max should feel bad, because he basically said there's no chance of them happening. So he went and had his own moment, you know. Also, Avery and Tristan would also be like a whole mess. Like that whole triangle, it's not going to make any sense, to be fair. And Avery, I haven't seen Philip pursuing anything since Hamilton, so I think it's fabulous to see her in this. And I think she's such a talented actress, and I love that she's got these two men pining for her attention. I always love that. Shout out Cardi B. Her character is so interesting, and I can't wait to learn more about her backstory. Last week when I did the review of the trailer, I thought she was gonna hate Max, but there was like a bit of tension at the start, but it got resolved like quite quickly because this Max, he's open to being better. I'm curious why she's even on the ship. She seems very qualified as a nurse practitioner. Why not be in a hospital? But I feel like that's a question that we could ask both her and Tristan, because who knows, maybe somebody got kicked out of a hospital and was like, I'm gonna go on a cruise. I want to know why. The thing I love about TV is the opportunity to develop characters over weeks and weeks and years and sometimes even decades if you're Grey's Anatomy. Now let's talk about Max, Joshua Jackson. This man is going from Dr. Death to Dr. Odyssey, and was this on purpose? That's the question I have. He was terrifying as Dr. Death, so I think it's great to see him in something a little bit lighter. I love how they tied his backstory into being patient zero in Connecticut during the pandemic, and that experience seems to have pushed him to become a better doctor. Just the way that he upgraded the ship's medical center will just show how much he cares about his job and doing his job well. It kind of reminds me of Max Goodwin, but with a private twist. And let's go back to the mess. Honestly, if I were Avery, I'd pick Max over Tristan. But I do have a question of why did they jump into the love triangle so quick? Like, let it simmer a bit. Like, we're only one episode in. That was what I thought until I watched the trailer. So let's talk about that. So next week it's singles week, and I reckon it's going to bring all the drama. I've got a feeling the captain and one of the passengers, the one in the trailer, they have some history. There has to be some history there, and maybe they have a fling every year during single week, but we'll see next week. I'm excited. And this love triangle, as I was saying earlier, gets messier and messier. I thought Avery had brother zoned him, but yeah, she's kissing him in the trailer. Interesting. And Max is jealous. Avery, I see you, girl. I see you. I'm a supporter of women's rights and wrongs, but one thing I need to know what's going on in her head. Like, did she like Tristan this whole time? Does she like the rivalry that's between Max and Tristan? I don't know. I think this is going to get awkward really quickly. It's going to add to the dynamic. Shout out to the writers. Chef's kiss. And there are some familiar faces in the trailer, like that guy from Glee, the one with the blonde hair, and then there was a guy whose name escapes me, you know, the one with the dark hair and he had blood on his head in the trailer. He's in there. I know things are gonna get wild. I love how Ryan Murphy brings the actors from his previous shows. It's like the Ryan TV universe, and that's really cool. Anyways, let me know what you thought of this week's pilot in the comments, and are you excited for next week? Which character caught your attention the most? Let me know in the comments. See ya.